Namaste. It's Pause from Pranapause Yoga. Today we have a short sequence for calf and ankle pain. If anything that I lead isn't comfortable in your body, feel free to modify. You can sit a posture out or do an entirely different posture. You're welcome to make this practice your own. Let's begin sitting on the heels. This is not always a comfortable position for everyone's knees, so I have a couple options. You can, first of all, take the blanket beneath the knees as I was just demonstrating. Alternatively, you can take a blanket or a cushion between the heels and the hips. This takes a little pressure off the knees. Or if you're experiencing discomfort in the ankles, you can roll up your blanket underneath the ankles. So find whatever position works for you. And we'll begin here. Take a moment to let the breath settle and the attention come to your inner world. Let the breath deepen. And begin to let every inhale be just a bit longer than the last. Give a gentle squeeze of the belly as you exhale to empty completely. On an inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head and reach the arms forward. Let the shoulder blades spread across the back as the fingertips reach forward, and then draw the shoulders back across the body. Inhale, reaching forward, and then exhale, shoulder blades draw together. As we continue this movement, we can allow the hands to reach down towards the knees, lowering the gaze, and then inhale, arms sweep all the way up towards the sky. Small back bend. Take the gaze to the wall where it meets the ceiling above. Exhale, folding forward. Chin lowers to the chest. Fingertips reach towards the mat. And then inhale, reaching forward and up. Slight back bend. Let's lower the hands down in front of the knees, and we'll come off our ankles here. So slide whatever props you have off to the side. I typically like to keep a blanket beneath my knees, so you're welcome to do so as well. And let's find our way into table position. Bring the hips over the knees and the shoulders above the hands. Begin with a small circling of the hips. Beginning with a small circle. And gradually grow the circle, reaching the hips out wider and wider in all directions. Can you notice if your ankles are reaching down towards the mat? If they don't reach, we can take that blanket and roll it up beneath the ankles like we did earlier. And then find the hips reaching back towards the heels. Take a moment to breathe here in child pose. Let the hips sink back towards the heels and the heart sink between the shoulders. You can let the forehead relax against the mat. On an inhale, begin to shift the hips forward once again, coming through a neutral position, and then changing directions. We'll circle the other way. Once again, beginning with a small circle. And letting your circle grow with every revolution. Just one more circle here, and we'll meet back at a neutral spine. Take a deep breath in and extend the left leg behind you. We'll press into the palms as we shift the hips slightly backwards, dorsiflexing that left foot as the toes press into the mat and the heel reaches back. Then press into the toes to shift slightly forward a few inches and gently rock back. Synchronizing our breath with our movement here, rocking forwards and back. Maybe getting a little bit deeper into that calf stretch with every time. Now coming back to a neutral position, bring that left knee beside the right and step the right foot back. Nice deep breath in and exhale, pressing into the palms, shifting into the back foot, pressing into the heel. And then coming onto the toes, shifting the body forward, and exhale, pressing the heel back. Keep that breath flowing, slow, deep breaths. Keeping a soft bend in the elbows. If this becomes strenuous on the wrists or the hands, you can always fold the mat over, getting a little extra padding beneath the palms. Just one more breath here. And then bringing the knee back beside the other. Curl the toes under and press into the palms to shift the hips all the way back. Keep a big bend in the knees. Let the hips reach towards the ceiling and the back of the mat. Wrap the shoulder blades out to the sides and around the rib cage, stabilizing the shoulders. And gently begin to press one heel at a time, pedaling out the feet. See if you can press the heel a little bit further down towards the mat as time goes on. And then taking one deep breath in, take a big step forward with the left foot. From here we have a nice lunge. We'll keep shifting back and forward into that back leg. So straightening and bending the front leg. Pressing into that right heel. This is a great place. If you find that your arms aren't quite as long as you wish they were, this is a great place to come onto some blocks under each hand. And then lowering the palms back to the mat, big step back. Once again, shifting all the way back to a deep bent knee, downward facing dog. We'll continue to pedal out the feet. And then taking a deep breath in, step the right foot forward. We'll begin to press into that front foot, reaching that left heel back, and then bending the front knee. Continue to shift forwards and backwards. Opening up through that back heel and the back of the right leg. Checking in with the breath, noticing if your breath is quickened at all. Perhaps you can resume your slow and deep breaths. 2 breaths here. And then gently bending into the back foot, step all the way forward towards the front of the mat. Let the head and neck hang for a moment. Take a gentle sway side to side and bend and straighten each knee, one at a time. You can begin to lift and lower one heel at a time. Keeping the hands to the mat or coming onto blocks here. Whatever works for you. Step the feet back just a little bit from the hands and shift the hips forwards and backwards. Opening up the stretch on the back of the body and the backs of the legs. Now, heel toe your feet a little bit wider, and we're going to lower the hips down for a yogi squat. So here we can find our balance, maybe keep the hands to the mat for balance, or bring the hands to prayer position, if that works for you. If your heels aren't quite reaching the ground, this is a great posture to practice. You can always take some blocks or a blanket to support the hips if you're not quite reaching the ground. For example, a blanket can go right under the hips. This allows me to relax more fully into the posture if I'm not quite open enough to get there. I support the use of all props for everything. Nice deep breaths here. If you'd like a little bit more opening, pressing the elbows into the knees to widen the knees just a bit. Three more breaths here. Lowering the hands to the mat once again. Gently shift forward, lifting the hips up to the sky. And then gently sinking the tailbone, rolling up one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Let's shake this out. Just a little coat sleeve movement here, like a little kid in a big coat. And then letting that movement slow down naturally. We can take the hands to the side, step the feet nice and close together. Maybe bring the hands to the hips and begin to roll out the ankles. Noticing how it feels when you come onto the top of the toes. Maybe pressing the toes slightly down into the mat, stretching the top of the toes and the top of the foot. And keep pressing the heel forward and backwards. And then switching feet, Little circles, rolling the ankle. And let the top of the foot reach towards the mat, coming onto the toes, and pressing the heel back, and then pressing it forward. We can release that movement. Let's take a deep breath together, inhaling the arms to the sides, bringing palms together and exhaling to heart center. I hope you've enjoyed this quick warm-up and your calves feel nice and relaxed. Have a great day.